What if one day the Brooklyn Bridge disappeared forever? What would remain? A few photographs, a few videos, and the memories of millions of people. But what if we could preserve a place like this forever? Hi everyone! Today we are not just creating a 3D model. Today we are building a digital version of one of the most iconic structures in the world, the Brooklyn Bridge. Every year millions of people cross this bridge. Most people simply see a connection between Manhattan and Brooklyn, but as a 3D artist and urban planner, I see something different. I see history, I see engineering, and I see thousands of details worth preserving. Today, we are going to transform all that into a metaverse-ready 3D asset. But before creating anything, we first need to understand what makes this bridge special. The Brooklyn Bridge was completed in 1883. At the time, it was considered one of the greatest engineering achievements in the world. Its massive stone towers, steel suspension cables, and unique design permanently changed the skyline of New York City. Behind the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge were three remarkable individuals. John Augustus Roebling, a German-American civil engineer, designed the Brooklyn Bridge in 1867. However, before construction officially began, he was seriously injured in an accident at the construction site and died of tetanus in 1869. After his death, his son Washington Roebling took over as chief engineer while overseeing the project. He developed Kaizen disease from working in the pressurized underwater chambers and was no longer able to supervise the construction in person. At that point, Emily Warren Roebling, Washington's wife, stepped in. She managed technical communications, coordinated with the engineers, and played a vital role in bringing the project to completion. After 14 years of construction, the Brooklyn Bridge officially opened on May 24, 1883. At the time, it was the longest suspension bridge in the world and became one of the greatest engineering achievements of the 19th century. This bridge is more than just a transportation route. It's a symbol of innovation, ambition, and human connection. And that's exactly why it deserves to be preserved in the digital world. So let's begin with the first step. Research and reference collection. To accurately recreate a place, reference are everything. For this project, I use Google Earth, GIS data, maps, Street View 360, official New York City plans, historical photographs, YouTube videos, and architectural resources. The goal isn't simply to copy the appearance of the bridge. The goal is to understand the structure itself, to understand why every cable, every tower, and every walkway exists exactly where it does. Once the references are collected, it's time to move into the 3D modeling phase. At this stage, you can also AI tools such as Hyper3D, Hunyuan 3D, or Tripo to generate a starting point. However, for this project, I use GIS data to create accurate plans. Process them in AutoCAD, export them as DXF files, and then transfer everything into Blender to begin the modeling process. From there, we rebuild the bridge piece by piece. The towers, suspension caps, the walkways, and all the details that make this structure unique. The results are fascinating. I created this asset entirely by myself, but AI can be a useful tool for generating initial structure that might otherwise take hours to build manually. However, in my opinion, creating a professional asset requires much more than appearance alone. We need accuracy, we need optimization, and we need clean topology. And this is where manual modeling still proves its value. After modeling comes one of the most exciting stage: materials and texture. Because geometry creates the structure, but materials create the feeling. The weathered stone, the aged steel, and the subtle imperfections that make a model feel real. Once the materials are complete, we move on to rendering and optimization. Because a great asset shouldn't just look beautiful, it should also perform efficiently in games, virtual worlds, digital twins, and metaverse projects. And finally, after hours of work, the Brooklyn Bridge is ready. A real-world landmark transformed into a digital asset, a historical structure that can now continue its life in a new generation of virtual experience. And this is the final result. For me, projects like this are about more than modeling. They are about preserving places, preserving history, and making sure these important landmarks continue to exist in the digital world. If you enjoyed this project, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And let me know in the comments which famous landmark would you like to see recreated next. See you in the next project.